So tell me what is going on. You are the head of something big happening in the area. Fill me in.
Well, actually, I'm just one of the actors at the Cloudcroft Light Opera Company, and I have been, this is my 13th season. We put on 3 melodramas a year, and if you're not familiar with a melodrama, I don't know if you've ever seen one, Anthony, but it's basic Dudley Do-Right. Good guy, bad guy wants the good girl and manages to steal her, and the good guy in the end gets her back, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Sounds like my life in high school.
I can identify. In between, there are a lot of hijinks and a lot of fun. And the nice thing about melodramas at Cloudcroft is you can, of course, cheer on the good guy and jeer the bad guy and throw popcorn at him or her. It could be one or the other, or often it's both. So we are doing the second melodrama, and that will open up Friday night, Friday and Saturday. The July 4th weekend, it will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the following weekend, it will be Friday and Saturday. So there will be 7 performances. They're all free. We do have a panhandler, George Collins, and he passes the hat during intermission. Everything we take up basically goes to scholarships for students, whether they're continuing their secondary education or going into their secondary education. And we give some extra weight to folks who've been in the arts. You don't have to be part of Clock. You could be a student musician. You don't necessarily have to go to Cloudcroft, but because we are an arts performance, we do weight onto the arts. And the melodrama starts at 7:30, but we start setting seats out about 6:30, and folks will show up to get those front seats so they have the best shot at throwing popcorn onto that stage.
And does this melodrama have a title?
It does. It is Those Wedding Bells Shall Not Ring Out, or The Bride Wore Green Chili Peppers. We got this one from the Pioneer Drama Service in Denver, Colorado, written by a melodramatic writer, Tim Kelly. Sometimes we do originals. Our cast members or members will write originals, but often we'll get them from a melodrama service. We tend to gear things toward, for example, this one has, I believe, Central City. Well, we're in Cloudcroft, so it's got to be Cloudcroft City. We'll change things around a little bit so it has sort of a local bent, so to speak. And have you ever been to one of these?
I have not, so it does sound like a lot of fun, though.
Well, we have to change that. I'll tell you, it's different every night. Our motto is, if you came to see real theater, you came to the wrong place. And that means people occasionally forget a line or two. We have a prompter. Sometimes the prompter ends up being part of the cast, he or she out there explaining lines. It's basically, we have a great time, a lot of fun, so folks are entertained. And we've been told by visitors, for example, from Texas, they check the melodrama schedule to see when there's going to be one so they can plan their trip to Cloudcroft in Otero County based around that schedule.
I like the fact that the crowd is encouraged to throw popcorn, which, of course, is clearly a redheaded stepchild of throwing tomatoes at the actors, which I don't know if you knew this or not, but 400 or 500 years ago, the reason people threw tomatoes is because they were believed to be poisonous and they thought it might kill the actors. Seriously.
Well, we ask that they don't throw anything else. Occasionally someone does, and that can stop the program. Years ago, I got hit by a Coke can. It was empty, thank goodness. But nobody, for some reason, ever throws money. I don't know what it is. You'd think if they're going to throw something, they'd throw money. But that just doesn't happen. And I did not know that about tomatoes. That's an interesting fact.
I don't even remember why I learned that or where I learned that factoid from, but it was like, oh, well, that changes everything.
You could see why nobody ever got rich doing melodramas back in the old ages.
Absolutely. Well, I like the fact that this is coming. This is going to be exciting. And yeah, although I've never been to a melodrama, I am a huge fan of high-class stage performances. I once attended a performance of Avenue Q. You know, that's that is near and dear to my heart. A beautiful stage performance featuring Muppets saying naughty words. What else could you want in the world? No, I do. It's
nice to see that the Muppets behind the scenes what they're really like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I do love a good stage performance, especially when something goes awry, because that's where you see who really is an actor at heart, who can roll with the punches and just keep going. And it sounds like under these circumstances, that's liable to happen on a regular basis.
And I'll tell you that the good guy does get some punches in at the bad guy in this performance. It's also nice. This one is directed by Tyler Hale, who's a Cloudcroft graduate many years ago. He started as a school kid. We have probably everywhere from 8, 9 years old to close to 70 years old in this production. We always encourage folks to get involved, and we have our meetings the second Thursdays right now in the summer. It's at our Performance Pavilion. In the winter, we'll schedule it somewhere else. But we encourage families to get involved. And if you don't want to be on stage, folks build props. They help build the set. They do costumes. Everybody's pretty much involved in everything. There's no, well, I'm an actor, and I'm not going to do that. We all throw in because it's all part of the fun. And we certainly encourage the younger kids to get involved, stay involved. This is something that if you don't go into the arts in your life, you can do this as an avocation. It's just the same as a lot of us older folks. It's an avocation for us, and it's a lot of fun, and it raises money for a very good cause.
How does someone get some information about tickets and so forth?
Well, it's free. That costs absolutely nothing. And we do pass the hat, as I mentioned, but we don't charge for that whatsoever. If you feel like it's worth it and want to throw some money, we'll raise anywhere from $250. We've taken in $1,000 at individual performances. So absolutely no cost whatsoever. Just again, will be this weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7:30. That's when it starts. We do have a Facebook page. You can go on our Facebook page and look at that, and there'll be flyers and posters for upcoming performances. And our next one will be Labor Day weekend, and then the weekend of the logging competition in Cloudcroft.
And that is the Cloudcroft Light Opera Company. You can find it on Facebook. And there's also a website, it looks like, cloudcroftlightopera.org.
Yes, and you'll find a lot of pictures from past performances. There might be somebody you recognize who was up on stage. We've had folks who spend a few years with us and they move away. So it's always nice to get new actors. Sometimes I use that term loosely, but to get new actors and actresses involved as well. Even if you just come do 1 year with us, you might get bitten by the bug. And when the swelling goes down, you get involved further.
I tell you, I have been on stage many times in front of a crowd, and there's nothing like it. You can't even describe it to someone unless they've been there.
That's very true. You've got lights in your face. You know people are out there. And we certainly do a far better performance when that crowd reacts, when they get involved.
There's electricity in the air when they react hard enough, and you can feel it.
Yes, that's a very good way to put it. And it makes so much difference in the performance. We have folks out there greeting you as you come in. We have a stand that sells popcorn, hot dogs, other treats as well. So you can pick up things very inexpensive and enjoy some food there, and then sit back and watch the performance.
All right. Well, before I let you go, sir, is there anything else you want to share?
Well, we would really love you to come see one of the performances and see what you think. And if you've been on stage, I tell people, in my case, that at some point in my life, the brain cells that kept me from making a fool of myself died off and didn't bother to tell me. And I have great fun in clock. I don't know what your age range is, but if you've been on stage, come see it. If you like, we'd love to have you join and participate as well. Our fees are very minimal, $20 for an entire family, $10 for a single membership per year.
As far as brain cells keeping me from being a fool, I've been on the radio since 1989, baby. That went away a long time ago.
Well, I got you beat there. 1973.
There we go. That's right, folks. You're listening to two old men talk about the old days right now.
I know. You know, the title Grumpy Old Man's already been used.
I know it. All right, Mike. Well, I don't know if I can make this weekend, but I will try to get to a play sooner or later. I do thank you for coming on board, and I do wish you the best. Hope you guys have a great show.
All right. I look forward to seeing you, possibly.
Take care.
And thank you for the time.